so I may be mute as well.
Okay. Now I have to edit the opening. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
No, it was my fault.
I didn't know you were pushing the button.
I didn't say anything. That was totally my fault. All right. Well, welcome everyone to the OQL USA Pop Solos final of Tier 1 for the fall 2023 season. I'm going to introduce our players in seat order. First in seat 1, we have Dan Burgess.
Howdy, y'all. From Minneapolis, an attorney doing this for like the 5th time, I think. So, yeah, looking forward to it.
All right. Seat 2 is Tucker Warner.
Hey, everyone. I'm Tucker, originally from Spotsylvania County, Virginia. Really excited to play in this final against 3 really, really top-notch opponents. So excited and a little intimidated.
Seat 3 is Jasmine Leonas.
Hi, I'm Jasmine. I live in the Denver suburbs and first time being here. Happy to be here.
Welcome. And in seat 4 is Scott Blish.
Hi, Scott Blish from just north of Tampa, Florida, originally from upstate New York, Ithaca, Elmira, Finger Lakes area. I'm sure if there's anyone there, they want me to give them a shout out. And I think second time playing pop solos and second time in the final. So.
Yeah, a mere 2 for 2. All right, I'm going to go ahead and share here. Make sure that works for everybody. Is everybody seeing a score sheet? Okay. So the way this is going to work, I use the count up timer rather than the timer app. So I will give you a 10-second warning. And then I will say answer, please. When I do that, you do have to give me an answer right then, but you don't have to do it before I say answer, please, if that makes sense. On passes, I give about 3 seconds. I will say that's a pass if you're hemming too long. Any other questions at all?
Okay. Good luck, everyone.
Probably read for most of you. Yeah. Oh, it's Dan. Dan can't unmute himself, I don't think.
Yeah, okay. You may just listen to me coughing then, because you're going to have to give me permission to unmute every time I mute, apparently. So
maybe I can. Yeah, I'm not sure quite how to do that for one person, so I think we'll just go ahead and brave it. But all right, and best of luck, everyone. Let's have a good final.
Yeah, good luck.
Good luck, everyone.
Okay, Dan. The resort town of Cortina d'Ampezzo is set to once again host the Winter Olympics in 2026. This time, unlike their original 1956 event, the Games will be hosted along with which other northern Italian city, known as much for its fashion as its sports?
Milan.
Is correct. Milan. Next. In 2009, Dr. Pepper ran a series of commercials with the slogan, "Trust me, I'm a doctor," though none of the celebrities in question were actual doctors. Which doctor from these ads is a 7-time Grammy winner, nominated more often as a now legendary hip-hop producer than as a performer?
Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre is correct. And finally, which actress sadly became addicted to pills during the filming of The Wizard of Oz 1939 in order to curb her appetite, give her enough energy to perform her scenes, and then calm her down after a hard day's work?
Judy Garland
is correct.
Could you slow down reading just a little
sorry
bit?
Yeah, I can. I'm sorry.
Judy Garland was my answer.
Judy Garland is correct. I'm sorry. Waiting for background to clear up a bit.
Gotcha.
Okay. Yes, Judy Garland is correct, and thankfully there were no side effects. There totally were. Anyway, Tucker. A favorite target of Donald Trump during his time as White House correspondent, what CNN journalist and former Cuban refugee is now chief domestic correspondent for CNN? Ten seconds. Answer, please.
Gonzalez.
It's not. Jasmine?
Jim Acosta.
Jim Acosta is correct for one.
Fun fact, we're related.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Which means, wow, was I ever in the wrong place in the line on that question?
Same, unfortunately.
That is cool. Anyway, Tucker, which style of softball, the kind played at the Olympics, is recognizable from its windmill style toss, the mound closer to the plate, and from there not being an arc required to the throw, meaning the ball arrives to the plate more directly and is more difficult to hit?
Fast pitch.
Fast pitch is correct. Spoiler alert, episode 2 of The Fall of the House of Usher, in which Perry Usher throws a sexy party that goes terribly awry, shares its name with what Edgar Allan Poe story with a similar plot, published in 1842?
The Mask of the Red Death.
It is The Mask of the Red Death, correct. 2 out of 3 there. Jasmine, in the mid-1980s, the Parents Music Resource Center instigated a Senate hearing in pursuit of a warning label for albums with what they deemed to be inappropriate material on them. Among the filthy 15 songs they used as examples was Bastard by Motley Crue. What bassist and primary writer for the band said, "I'm not a parent. No parent can tell them to turn it down."
Sebastian Bach.
It's not, Scott.
Nikki Sixx.
Nikki Sixx is the bassist and songwriter for Motley Crue. Jasmine, what is the name of the country in which the events of the Hunger Games book series are set? Located in North America, the name of this country is derived from a Latin phrase used within the series to illustrate its use of gory entertainment to distract the population.
Panem.
Is right. Panem. And 2 caramel-filled chocolates in the standard Godiva gold box are shaped like shields and decorated with what type of animal, representing the coat of arms of Belgium?
Bear.
It's not. Dan?
I'll pass.
Tucker?
Yeah, pass.
Scott?
I'm not going to risk it. Pass.
It is a lion.
Dang it. Okay, wow.
Scott, what is the typically used superhero name of Felicia Hardy, who is pretty much a knockoff of DC's Selena Kyle? An anti-hero, she is often a rival and sometimes friend of Spider-Man.
Oh. Felicia Hardy.
10 seconds.
Spider Woman.
No. Dan?
No, I'm not gonna get there. Pass.
Tucker?
I'll pass.
Jasmine?
Pass.
She is Black Cat.
It is just Black.
There's also an
Cat.
extremely
Oh.
there's also an extremely G-rated description of their relationship. I will mention, but Scott, what astrology-themed mixtape by FKA Twigs was 24th on Pitchforks and 8th on Rolling Stone's 2022 Album of the Year lists?
Pass.
Dan?
Yeah, pass.
Tucker?
I needed more time, pass.
Jasmine?
Pass.
Okay. It's not named after juice. It's called Capra Songs. I did not read it that way initially. It's not Capri Songs. Like Capricorn. Anyway, Scott, the most watched broadcast in the history of Italian television may be Madonna in Concerto, a taping from what tour? Her second. The tour supported her album True Blue and the namesake 1987 soundtrack album.
I think it is.
10 seconds.
Desperately Seeking Susan.
No, sir. Dan?
Pass.
Tucker?
Pass.
Jasmine?
Pass.
It's Who's That Girl? Which was mentioned in an ancillary capacity in Learned League, I think, last week, but it wasn't the answer. Yeah, it's the Who's That Girl tour. And so after round 1, we have 3-2-2-1. Dan, what is the name of the monster who appears as a Triceratops in the original Zelda game, a bipedal lizard in Ocarina of Time, and a gecko-like creature in Twilight Princess? All of them have a weakness to bombs, especially if put in their mouths. He dislikes smoke, according to a helpful hint in the original game.
Dodongo.
Yes, Dodongo dislikes smoke, correct. Born in Bogota, what actor hosted and ended entitled a 7-episode Does America series for MSNBC starting in April 2023? In this show, he visited Latino communities across the United States. He was also guest host of The Daily Show in 2023's rotation, and among his many film appearances, also starred in the one-man Broadway show Freak.
John Leguizamo.
John Leguizamo. And participants in the Hunger Games are chosen in each district, during which ceremony Capitol Escort Effie Trinket hosts this ceremony, choosing Katniss's sister Primrose from a bowl of names before Katniss volunteers in her place.
Is this The Reaping?
Yes, this is The Reaping. Correct. Tucker, which WWE Divas champion back when it was called that, and member of a British wrestling family, was played by Florence Pugh in the heavily fictionalized biopic Fighting with My Family. You may give the name she used in WWE or AEW, or her typically unused last name.
Okay. Was she Becky?
No.
Damn
Dan.
it.
Pass.
Jasmine.
Pass.
Scott.
Page.
Paige is
Yes.
correct. Yeah. Or Soraya, or Soraya Bevis, but no one would probably say that one. Tucker, first in 1972, second in 1998. Name either of the two Japanese cities to have hosted the Winter Olympics. One is the center of beer brewing and capital of Hokkaido. One is the highest prefectural capital.
Nagano.
Yes, Sapporo the other. And a white chocolate shell filled with raspberry in the standard Godiva gold box is shaped like what? One of these is the lookout in the Dennis fish tank in Finding Nemo.
Starfish. Star.
Yes, a sea star starfish is correct. Jasmine, what YouTube practitioner of ASMR or ASM artist was approached by Polydor Records to do a read-through of Billie Eilish's 2019 album, When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? The New York Times once called this cosplay-heavy ASM artist the LeBron James of touching stuff, and her top videos include an ASMR read-through of B-Movie featuring many other ASM artists.
Johnson.
It's not. Dan.
Pass.
Tucker.
Pass, please.
Scott.
Pass.
This is another one that's destined to be someone's favorite quad, but perhaps none of you. It's GB, is what she goes by.
Not who I was trying to think of.
Jasmine, known in the comics as Chewie after Chewbacca, what is the name of Carol Danvers' pet cat in the MCU, who is really a type of alien known as a flurkin?
Wookie.
No, Dan?
Goose.
Goose is correct. And finally, which doctor from Dr. Pepper's Trust Me, I'm a Doctor series of ads played a doctor on TV, specifically one who says, I'm listening to callers on his show on KACL radio? For the sake of clarity, we're asking for the performer, not the character.
Kelsey Grammer.
Yes, it is Kelsey Grammer. Scott. Buddy Ebsen woke up one morning screaming of violent cramping in his hands and arms because of the pure aluminum absorbed by his body and his lungs after being painted for which role in 1939's The Wizard of Oz. He was replaced in this role by Jack Haley, who suffered a serious eye infection from the makeup even after they changed from the old paint.
The Tin Man to Tin Woodman.
Tin Woodman, yep. Next. It's a disasters of Wizard of Oz quad, I can reveal at this point. Anyway, Scott. In the most recent 2020 Summer Olympics, which country beat the U.S. for the gold medal in softball? This result echoes the same result as the 2023 World Baseball Classic Championship, wherein the Angels' Mike Trout dramatically struck out against his very famous teammate who plays for this country.
Japan.
I guess former teammate. As of
Oh.
yesterday.
Questions accurate as of
Yesterday.
December 1st.
Yeah, Scott. Spoiler alert, episode 3 of The Fall of the House of Usher, in which Camille Usher's search for information goes terribly awry, shares its name with what Edgar Allan Poe tale, often credited as the first detective story, published in 1841.
In the Rue Morgue.
It is Murders in the Rue Morgue, correct. Dan. Known at various times as Shadowcat in the comics, what wall-walking member of the X-Men was played by Elliot Page in X-Men The Last Stand and Days of Future Past. A last name is required.
Kitty Pryde.
Kitty Pryde. Kate Pryde now, apparently. Dan, what Memphis wrestler and later commentator feuded with Andy Kaufman's I'm From Hollywood character in the Continental Wrestling Association in the early 80s? He played himself in Men on the Moon, which revealed that their entire feud, including awkward segments on real talk shows, was staged.
Jerry Lawler.
Jerry Lawler, yes. Before also appearing as part of the 1990 subliminal message trial, what lead singer of Judas Priest said that the PMRC twisted their Filthy 15 song Eat Me Alive into a snuff song by misinterpreting the lyrics.
Halford.
Rob Halford is correct, and that's 9 for 9. Tucker, what shoegaze-infused indie pop album by Canadian act Always was 3rd on Pitchfork's and 12th on Rolling Stone's 2022 Album of the Year lists?
Blue Rev.
Blue Rev is correct. There were not very many albums on both of these lists. Although Beyonce's Renaissance was #1 on both lists, it's not in this quad.
I figured as much.
Tucker, virtually every Zelda game includes a skeleton or skeletal knight known by what name? In Link to the Past, the high-level ones have annoying floating heads, while in Wind Waker, they can swing maces and reform if destroyed.
Dead Guard.
No, sir. Jasmine?
Pass.
Dan?
Pass.
Scott?
Pass.
Okay, it's Stalfos.
Oh, okay.
Tucker, the producers and crew of 1939's The Wizard of Oz literally doused their cast in asbestos when using the material to imitate snow during a scene that takes place in a field of what kind of flowers? Seeds of this flower are an essential ingredient in everything bagel seasoning.
Poppy?
Yeah, poppies.
Okay.
Jasmine, Mitt Romney started his political career by coming in to clean up the corrupt and bribery-happy mess left behind by the organizers attempting to get the Winter Olympics held in which city?
Salt Lake City.
Is right. Next, many slow-pitch softball leagues add rules or stipulations to speed up play, such as starting each batter with 1 ball and 1 strike. In many leagues, again to speed up play, 2 of what in a row if a batter has 2 strikes can result in an out, unlike baseball and fast pitch, where they can happen indefinitely.
Fouls.
Yes, 2 foul balls in a row. And finally, Madonna did not tour immediately in support of what acclaimed 1998 album, whose lead track Drowned World gave its name to her 2001 tour. On that tour, her set list included the title track and Frozen.
Ray of Light.
It is Ray of Light,
Well
a
done.
great album.
Well done.
Yes. Scott, in the Hunger Games, Panem is split into districts each associated with a particular industry or export. Which district does Katniss Everdeen represent during the 74th and 75th annual Hunger Games? Coal mining is the dominant industry in this district.
This District 12.
It is District 12, yes. With 5.9 million subscribers on YouTube, one ASMR channel using kinetic sand for all its triggers is called Sand What? They cut and scoop kinetic sand to create soothing sounds.
Pass.
Tucker?
I'll pass.
Dan?
Pass.
Jasmine?
Pass.
A often leading scorer in Division 1, it's Sandtageous, though not Tejas Raji. Yeah. The most subscribed ASMR channel on YouTube, which is interesting to me anyway. Scott, which doctor from Dr. Pepper's Trust Me, I'm a Doctor series of ads attended the University of Massachusetts and was named one of the most important athletes of all time by Sports Illustrated? He is widely credited with popularizing the free throw line slam dunk while in the ABA.
Gloria serving.
Yes, Dr. J is correct. So Dan's out to a lead and has 9 of his own. See how that
Yeah, but now I get
proceeds.
the hard ones. So, yeah.
Next. What acclaimed 4th studio album by Earl Sweatshirt was 17th on Pitchfork's and 29th on Rolling Stone's 2022 Album of the Year lists?
Quickest pass I can do.
Okay.
Pass.
Tucker.
I don't like shit. I don't go outside.
It isn't. Jasmine.
Pass.
Scott.
Pass.
Okay, it's sick, all caps exclamation point. Yeah. Dan, spoiler alert, episode 7 of The Fall of the House of Usher features the bisection of Frederick and is titled for what Poe short story of 1842 set during the Spanish Inquisition?
The Pit and the Pendulum.
Is right. Pit and the Pendulum. And finally, a Korean-born ASMR artist located in Oregon is known as Matty What. He is named for something sought by ASMR watchers and listeners.
Tingles.
Yeah, Matty Tingles is correct. Good. Tucker, which doctor from Dr. Pepper's Trust Me, I'm a Doctor series of ads was a part of a band whose lead singer asked you to call him Dr. Love in a 1977 hard rock single? This notably long-tongued individual played the bass in said band.
Simmons.
Yes, not Nikki Sixx. Next. What Twisted Sister lead singer, speaking of which, said at the PMRC inspired Senate hearing that their Filthy 15 song, We're Not Gonna Take It, contained no references to violence and that the PMRC may have confused our video presentation with the lyrics?
Dee Snider.
Yes, Dee Snider. And covering 57 dates from April to August of 1990, following Like a Prayer, what legendary theatrical Madonna tour was chronicled by Alec Kashishian for the documentary Madonna, Truth or Dare. Pepsi pulled out of sponsoring this tour due to criticism of the Like a Prayer video by the Vatican and others.
Erotica.
No. Jasmine?
Blonde Ambition?
Blonde Ambition is correct for a point, yes.
Rats. We've named the one Madonna tour I can name. Shoot.
I was hoping it would come up.
Jasmine, what former CNN American morning anchor and current presenter of Matter of Fact and Real Sports is the daughter of an Australian and Cuban immigrant who were married in 1958 in Washington, D.C. to get around Virginia's continued ban on interracial marriage?
Soledad O'Brien.
It is Soledad O'Brien.
Don't think I'm not related to her though.
Fair enough. We won't ask you if you're related to everyone who's a Latino news figure. That would be weird. But yes, that is Soledad O'Brien. I thought that marriage fact was interesting. By continued, I mean continued as of 1958. Jasmine, Victor Fleming directed nearly all of 1939's Wizard of Oz, but was asked to take over directing which other film that year after original filmmaker George Cukor was fired. Fleming would only be briefly replaced by Sam Wood from directing this extremely high-grossing Civil War film, set after suffering exhaustion from the two simultaneous projects.
Gone with the Wind.
Gone with the Wind is correct. And what amusingly named armored knights, who you annoyingly can't attack from the front in the original Zelda, possess many sword techniques and are memorable opponents in Wind Waker?
The Knights Who Say Knee.
They are not the Knights Who Say Knee. Dan?
Pass.
Tucker?
I'll pass.
Scott?
I don't remember what they're called.
It is a funny name. They're called Dark Nuts.
That one I've never heard. Okay, funny.
I think that's going to be some Japanese translation of Dark Knight or something like that, but that's what they're called, like, even now that the translations are good. It's very fun. Anyway.
Because I would have remembered that name.
Yeah. Yeah, Blue Dark Nuts, basically the most annoying enemy in Zelda 1. Scott, the coffee-flavored chocolate in the standard Godiva Gold box is decorated with what? The plural of this word names the evil penguin from Wallace and Gromit.
No, I said. Pass.
Okay. Dan.
Feather.
Feather, or feathers. It is a feather. Feathers McGraw. Scott, what country makes history whenever it hosts the Winter Olympics? The games in 1968 were the first time the IOC allowed East and West Germany to compete separately. The 1992 games in Albertville were the last time the Winter Games were held in the same year as the Summer Games. And most importantly, the very first 1924 Winter Olympics were held there as well. France. And the 2023 A24 film The Iron Claw is a biographical film focusing on the curse suffered by what wrestling family, of whom Kevin, played by Zac Efron, is the only surviving member. Their last name in the ring was derived from their father Fritz's German character, though their real last name was Adkisson.
The Von Erichs.
Von Erich family is correct, yes, Texas. All right, so Dan has a 4-point lead heading into round 5, and we will go ahead if everyone's good to go. This has been quick stuff. Not surprising, perhaps. Dan, the ruling body of world softball, the WBSC, is headquartered in what country? The 20-time tennis Grand Slam winners from this country, which is also where FIFA is headquartered.
Switzerland.
It is Switzerland. Next. A chocolate known as the Marquise in the standard Godiva Gold box is shaped like and contains what food? This crunchy food is an essential ingredient in the cold soup Ajo Blanco and the short crust pastry Bakewell tart.
Oh.
Ten seconds.
Okay. Walnut. I don't know.
No. Tucker?
I'll pass.
Jasmine?
Almond?
Almond is correct. Yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay. That's.
Is an almond. And Dan, Madonna's tour in support of 1992's album Erotica was named what? After a painting of a burlesque by Edward Hopper. This was the literal name of a fictional sketch show in a TV series until it was abbreviated to 3 letters and no longer focused solely on women.
The Girly Show.
The Girly Show is correct. In 30 Rock, TGS featuring Tracy Jordan, of course. Tucker, with the first name Taylor and an appropriately affectionate stage surname that is not her real name, what ASM artist went from 5,000 to 100,000 subscribers on YouTube after being featured by PewDiePie in 2016? Known for heavy use of multiple triggers such as microphone brushing, she now has 2.5 million subscribers.
Tay Whispers.
It's not. Scott?
Pass.
Dan?
Pass.
Jasmine?
Pass.
If there's not a person named Tay Whispers out there, there probably should be, but
Should be.
her name was Darling. Yeah, she was one of the original breakthrough people, the mainstream. Tucker. During the Hunger Games, Katniss wears a gold pin depicting what fictional animal? This bird becomes a symbol of the rebellion throughout the series, with Katniss also being known by this name as a rebellion figurehead in later books.
Mockingjay?
Yes. What scientific genius and sister of T'Challa took on the mantle of Black Panther in Wakanda Forever, having already assumed that role in the comics?
Oh, God. Shuri?
Shuri, yes. The final Marvel cat there. Jasmine, Radiohead's Tom York and Johnny Greenwood formed The Smile and released what debut album that was 21st on Pitchforks and 65th on Rolling Stone's 2022 Album of the Year lists?
Burn the Witch.
It's not. Tucker?
Pass.
Scott?
For attracting attention.
Say again, please.
For attracting attention.
Yes, light for attracting attention is correct. Not something you're going to come up with randomly. Good answer. Jasmine, spoiler alert. Episode 6 of The Fall of the House of Usher, in which Tamerlane Usher's business launch goes terribly awry, shares its name with both her company and what Edgar Allan Poe's story, published in 1843. The story is about a man's obsession with the markings on an unusual trinket.
Oh no. Oh my God. I was anticipating it would be a different one.
10 seconds.
Damn it, and I watched this.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's not coming.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Tucker?
No, I have to pass.
Dan?
The Gold Bug.
The Gold Bug is correct, yes. Finally, Jasmine, the 1999 documentary Beyond the Mat heavily inspired Darren Aronofsky's The Wrestler. What wrestler had a career low in 1999 during that documentary, who used to carry a bag with something threatening inside to the ring, was the template for Mickey Rourke's Randy the Ram Robinson?
The Undertaker.
It's not. Tucker?
That's what my guess is going to be. I'll pass.
Okay. Scott?
Jake the Snake Roberts.
Jake the Snake Roberts. It was a snake.
Something
You're
intimidating.
perpetuating snakeophobia there.
Like something threatening. Yeah, I didn't want to say hey, carry his bat with him. I think that would be a little much, but who knows? All right. Scott's last 3 to finish off. Scott, resembling one-eyed spiders or Japanese spider crabs, what jumping enemies from throughout the Zelda series share their name with a term from meteoritic studies? 10 seconds.
No, pass.
Tucker,
Yeah, I'll pass.
Dan,
Pass.
Jasmine.
Pass.
Tektites, which are also meteor formed rocks, I suppose, best way to put it. Scott, what Def Leppard lead singer said party songs were part of the entertainment in defense of their Filthy 15 song, High and Dry Saturday Night?
Joe Elliott.
Joe Elliott. And her father, an AME minister of Barbadian descent who was born in Panama, a journalist who identified as Afro-Latina, hosted the 2004 and 2008 VP debates and a 2016 Clinton-Sanders debate alongside Judy Woodruff, her co-host on PBS NewsHour at the time.
No, pass.
Okay, Tucker.
Eiffel?
Gwen Eiffel for third. So that was a heck of a game, everybody. So
Yeah, really good.
yeah, really well done. Yeah. So
I got lucky in what seat I was in. I would not want to be in Scott's seat.
yeah, I'm not sure that's been true all week. It's just
Yeah.
you never know, right? All right. Yeah. I mean, like obviously this field is crazy. Like being top 50 is still like scary trivia player. So you know, top 4 is obviously really awesome. But yeah, Dan with a really good win there. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you.
One
Making it
regardless.
this far. Let's run off some stuff. We want to run off some stuff. I'm gonna shut off the recording because listening to people shout out answers to spares is not necessarily good. We'll see everybody next season.